Well, yesterday the strikes were completely successful in their terms, it's strike action, and unfortunately that has meant the complete close down of the railway. Certainly where I was in London, it was entirely shut. I believe Birmingham was as well. Now, we don't want that to happen. We'd like a settlement, but we've got to show the government and the rail operators and Network Rail that we are completely serious about defending our members' terms and conditions, fighting against compulsory redundancies, and ultimately getting a pay deal. So yesterday was very successful. It was also successful in the number of people out on the streets in 50 cities, supporting our picket lines and our disputes, along with the postal workers, but also us supporting the community activists, the people fighting against cuts, the pensioners, the healthcare workers, the teachers, everyone that we rely on. The RMT is arm in arm and in lockstep with every worker in this country, and we will support them, and it's obvious now that they are supporting us. Well, it is working. We were threatened with redundancies. They have served redundancy notices for nearly 3,000 of our members on Network Rail. We've halted that. We've halted them imposing drastic changes to terms and conditions that we can't accept. We are costing the government and the railway at least £30 million every time we go on strike. The scandal is that the government indemnifies the operators. They hand them a cheque for £30 million every time we're out the gate. And that means it's coming out of all these people's pockets to pay these corrupt rail operators to oppose our strike. Now, that's a political stance from the government. It's got to end, and it's as scandalous as Kwasi Kwarteng's budget. And that's got to go, and his budget's got to go, and the Tories have got to go. Well, what we're doing here today is rallying against Tory policy, against the Tory stance, and this radical shift to the right. Nobody voted for this latest lot of Tories. Nobody voted for what they're putting on the table. Nobody voted for a transfer of wealth from the ordinary people of this society. That's low-paid people and middle-income people are all going to be worse off. And that money, through the energy subsidy to BP and British Gas and others, 100 or 200 billion pound, and the tax breaks for the rich, the cap on city traders' bonuses, is a direct transfer of wealth from the poorest people in this society to the richest. That is a scandal. It's the oldest contrick within capitalism, and that's got to go as well, I'm afraid. So that's what we're here for. Fight the cuts and fight the Tories. It is a bit different because we've got a different, I always oppose the Tories, but we've got a different set of Tories. What we're seeing is a militant, fundamentalist, right-wing, libertarian agenda being put forward. We've never had that in our country. I think some Tories are going to be worried about that. They're going to be worried that they're going to be kicked out of their seats. They're worried about their future, but some of them might be worried about where the country's going. So we need the whole community coming together. We need the entire working class with no divisions between race, between religion, regions, or whatever it is they use to divide us. We're not going to accept that. We're going to have an entire united working class movement, and we're going to kick these out and get somebody better in. Speeches will be short to stop the heckling even from the Tories, because they will be worried. They're worried that the ground is shifting. I think people in this country are ready for change, and the job of trade unionists, the job of activists, the job of the politicians, whether they're Labour politicians or national politicians in Scotland and Wales, or regional politicians such as you've got in the Midlands and Birmingham, they've got to be ready to support that change, and we need everybody working together to bring about change immediately and with no delay.